So number 8, it gives us the points. So I'm going to go ahead and write those in. So that's those up there. The amplitude, the midline, the period, B, all of that is quick and easy. You can find from here. So these pictures are nice because your midline is like right there. So it's at 11. Your amplitude is, remember, this distance from the midline up. So from 11 up to 16, that's 5. And then your period, you're looking at your x values. You can kind of, this one you're given, you can go from max to max. You can go from minimum to minimum when you're calculating that period, just one full cycle. So from 2 to 14, your period is 12. Here's where I messed up. I was like, oh, that's our B. No, that's not correct. So the first time I did it, we had to go back and redo it. But remember, your B is 2 pi over your period. And so we get pi over 6 for B. So this is A, this is D, and that's B. Now C comes from our phase shift. And so what we know, it is telling us it's sine, and that is important. Sine of x has a maximum at pi over 2. If we, watch it down. If you just graph regular sine of x, if you looked at one of your graphs, if you look for the first, any maximum would work, but just the very first one, the very first positive one is pi over 2, so it just makes that the easiest one to use. So if it has a max at pi over 2, this graph has a max at 2. Right here. That is one of the max. I'm going to see what it takes to get from the pi over 2 max to this max. And that's going to just tell me what it's shifted. The way we do that is we set this right here equal to pi over 2. So basically we're seeing where the first x becomes that. We're going to set it equal to pi over 2. And my b, we're using the same b from this. So pi over 6. T is just the variable they used in this case instead of x. And I can pick this max, I can pick this max, so I could use 2 or I could use 14, and we would get a correct equation. 2 I'm going to use because that's smaller. And now it's just a form of algebraic, solving algebraically. So what you could do, what I would do first actually, is I would divide both sides by pi over 6. And when you divide by a fraction, that is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. Keep, change, flip. So dividing by pi over 6 is the same thing as multiplying by 6 over pi. And so your pi's cancel. 2 plus c equals 6 over 2 is 3. So c equals 1.